Hey all, and welcome back to Mega Man X4. We're doing decently so far, taking down the rogue Mavericks, but there's still a few more to destroy before my hunger for destruction is satiated, so it's time to destroy Slash Beast.
You know, Tom, if I didn't know any better, and if I knew you were a human instead of a robot, I would say that bloodthirsty behavior makes you a Maverick.
Yes, Tom64, he sat down at his computer and didn't get up until the end of the day. Oh, good stuff, good stuff. So, what memories do you have of this particular stage, Mr. I haven't played the game for 20 years?
I really like Slash Beast, and I like his stage. I think it's a cool design, and I think it's an interesting theme where you basically have to kind of just move along the back of a train, basically working your way up to the front. And every so often, they'll throw bombs to break away parts of the train. I think it's a really good stage, just kind of all around.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of, like, train-themed levels. Not so much of the train-themed Robot Master who was in Mega Man 5, I believe. You'll notice that I don't have the greatest opinion for Mega Man 5. I found it very boring, but thankfully Mega Man 6 ended the NES series on a particularly fantastic note, so there you go.
By the way, I just might as well get this out of the way now. There's so much I want to potentially say about this game and Mega Man as a whole. If I don't get to it all, I apologize. We're just kind of trying to keep up a good momentum. But if I miss anything, please let me know in the comments, and we won't address them because this will already have been done by the time it's gone on YouTube.
Don't give away the secrets. We're meant to be superstars.
But looking at this now, like, based on what you've seen so far, is this a game you would have liked to try out a bit more before we actually, sat here and recorded it?
I'm gonna be honest, when I first played X, and this may be because I was playing it on the new 3DS, and shit, I had to, like, change the default, like, button layout to be able to play it comfortably, and even then I was having troubles. Maybe I would have, like, needed, like, an extra week or two before I was, like, comfortable with sitting down to play the game. But I think I prefer classic Mega Man overall. I don't know. Maybe it's the amount of enemies that the X series chucks at you. And I felt, and this is just me being bad at the game, that the enemy patterns were a bit more erratic as opposed to like the super concentrated style of the classic games.
Yeah, I have to agree with you to a degree. I think the enemy placement in this game is more suited to Zero, who can usually destroy enemies in about 1 or 2 hits. So it's designed for him to just kind of blaze through. X, in comparison, has a little bit more trouble because there's so much shit he has to do, and he has to rely so much on the charge shot in order to make any sort of real progress. Back there, I wasn't able to mention it because, you were answering the question I had asked you, so I'm not blaming you for this or anything, but you'll notice that Snake managed to do a trick that allowed him to completely and quickly destroy the lower 2 spikes of that mini-boss. It's a trick where basically you dash slashes 0, and then you just kind of repeat the button press over and over. You're basically canceling the slash. So, and I believe this also works in Mega Man X5 and X6, but if you're facing an enemy on the ground, you can just do slash dash over and over and over and just quickly murder the hell out of bosses. It's a fantastic and often used speedrunning trick.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, that's something MBM would pull out. You did not expect me to actually know this bit of information, did you?
It's like I've never known you. All these years, the secrets you've been keeping inside.
Now, of course, ride armors have been a feature since Mega Man X1 or so, or whenever they got introduced early on.
I'm sorry if I start to come off as like a really elitist expert because I've simply played through one of the X games. I'm just reveling in the fact that I completed a game for a change.
Well, I mean, that's not something to feel bad about. I mean, I would certainly be proud of that, especially a game like X1, which isn't my favorite of the X series. Of course, I mean, we're playing X4, come on.
Man, Slash Dude is, like, behind so many waves of enemies, he may as well just keep chucking them at us, because, X is going to run out of stamina sooner or later, robot or no.
Now, if I recall correctly, he's basically trying to defend this train because it has supplies for the Repliforce. I mean, you see the Repliforce here. I guess because they're kind of doing it as a sort of civil war, they're going to try and secure all of the resources they can. Oh, hey, we're already here. I love how Slash Beast comes in. He actually, first the boxes come down, he actually runs in on the side of the train and just jumps up like a complete badass. I love it.
Oh man, I'm always kind of intimidated by like lion-themed robots, or just lions in general, really. I don't know, I have like a self-preservation complex, I guess. Slash Beast, the Steel King of Destruction. He enlisted in Repliforce only to freely exercise his combat abilities, but despite this attitude, he showed dauntless courage in battle, fearing no one. During the coup, Slash Beast was put in charge of guarding Repliforce's military supply train. And looking down at the weakness list here, he is weak to Ground Hunter from X and Raijin Geki from Zero.
Raijin Geki, I believe, is the electric attack that Zero gets. For X, Ground Hunter basically trips him up and again locks him to a pattern. If you don't do that, he will use his special weapon where he basically flash kicks you and sends out like purple slash waves at you, which is pretty neat. Haha, done and dusted. Too bad nobody's driving the train.
Oh no. Next we'll have to fight Rubble Man. He exploded after X failed to stop the train.
I really do hope you come up with a ton more of those, because that's actually really funny. Well,
if I run out of commentary, you can bet your sweet ass I will.
Okay, but now because we have gotten Twin Slasher, we have to next take on the Maverick that I have historically had the most trouble with whenever I play this game.
Yes, you mentioned it in an earlier part, and here you see exclusive footage of the save screen. I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, another great thing about X4 is that it lets you kind of save just on your memory card, and you can basically repeat as much as you want. You can even load old data, so you don't have to worry about running out of lives, putting in passwords and things like that. He lurks in Tom's room, waiting for a chance to strike. Web Spider!
A human came along and knocked down his house. Web Spider! I'm sorry, it's too fun, alright?
He told a pig he was really special. Web Spider!
Man, this stage looks gorgeous.
Yeah, like, this is another stage I really love, and again, it's, quote-unquote, pushing the graphical processes of the PlayStation, but you'll notice all the background effects going on, just the sheer vibrant color of it all. Even the little rainbows here and there are just a fantastic touch. I love going through this stage. I don't like fighting the boss, but there you go.
Oh, secret Wily capsule. Sorry, light capsule.
Well, when you think about it, Dr. Light is actually the true villain of Mega Man X. You could say it's a game theory?
If only I could smack you through the internet. Backhand, no love to be found.
I've always found it kind of bizarre that Dr. Light had such a foresight that he made over 8 X games, by the way, a series of interchangeable capsules with various different armor parts, hoping on the fact that Mega Man X would just stumble across them and be able to use them. I mean, if Zero finds this one, he basically says, give it to X, I didn't fucking make it for just anybody, which just makes me think like, wow, you're a jerk.
Man, getting the Hadouken in friggin' Mega Man X1 requires you to get like all the sub-tanks, all the hearts, all the upgrades, and so on, and then you have to like randomly die 4 times, like in a pit, just before the capsule, and like on the 5th time you enter the level and whatnot, the capsule will appear. But the cool thing is, Dr. Light will actually be wearing Ryu's gi from Street Fighter, which is pretty cool.
Now, the reason I go to Web Spider first is always to get this upgrade. It's a very useful one that basically lets you air dash, and that's always just a huge godsend for any kind of game, in my opinion. That and a double jump, and I think, I'm trying to remember which part does this, or if this is just another upgrade of the foot part, if you will, but he actually has like a hover option that I believe he'll bust out later on from what I remember of the footage, so we'll see. Now I'm just getting a contrast to the X6 version of this stage. The whole jungle theme. Commander Yamark's stage. Yeah, he actually did a little bit of a hover there. Okay, so he already has that ability, which I believe you just hold down the jump button, and he can basically hover, which makes it really useful for crossing particular pits, as we'll see later.
Or just cheesing the game. Because, who's got time to actually, become good at video games these days? I like to hover all my problems away.
Well, I don't know. If the game goes out of its way to give you a particular upgrade that lets you solve particular platforming challenges easier, I mean, it's well within your rights and responsibility as a man or a woman to use that to your full benefit.
True. Still loving it.
And now X like goes and takes a coffee break while Zero comes in. Oh, I don't think he'll show it off in this playthrough. I guess we'll have to see with the later videos. Whenever Zero and X get down to a certain health level, they'll say a little line just to get you motivated. I think with Zero, it's like, it's not over yet, and you know, that's okay. But then X has a very masculine, time to get serious, pronounced in pretty much that way.
So that's why Snake said that to me just before we started recording. I was like, oh, Hell Dragon's on, gotta go. And he's like, time to get serious.
Yes, that's exactly why. And that's the one thing that really stands out with me for the voice acting. The fact that the voice actress, because it's probably a girl.
I think it is, actually, because it's the same person who did Mega Man's voice in, I think it's 8.
Yeah, you know what? I can see why it was a bad choice, because her performance, I'm sorry, it fucking sucks. Maybe it was the voice direction, maybe she just wasn't good at her job, which is what I'm probably gonna assume, but it just does not work at all. Zero is better, but not by much. I'd have to say probably the best voice actor in this game, and that's reaching a little bit, is Sigma, but that's only because he's so cartoonishly batshit hammy that it actually kind of works for him.
Oh, is it time for me to pull up some trivia?
Go ahead, because this is the man that I'm gonna rage over.
Oh, Jesus, I hate spiders.
Well, I know that. That's why I made fun of you earlier.
Web Spider, Guerrilla Commander of the Jungle. Let's see. Before his military career with Reproforce, he was once a Maverick Hunter belonging to the Zeroth Special Unit. That's a really weird way of spelling Zero-TH. When Reproforce began their war for independence, he remained loyal and was stationed in the jungle, charged with guarding a powerful beam cannon hidden there. His weakness is the twin slasher that we got from Slash Beast, and Zero can use the Shipuga against him.
Yeah, with Twin Slasher, you can basically cut off Web Spider's thread and reset his attack. But this is the reason I struggle so badly on Web Spider. This fucking web he shoots, it's basically heat-seeking. It'll catch you, it'll do damage, and then Web Spider is free to follow it up with another attack. I am notoriously bad at dodging this attack. I think the best strategy is to wait until it comes close, then dash out of the way just in time to make sure it passes through the floor. But even then, I'm really terrible at that, and I struggled. Even when I was replaying this game, I struggled so hard on this guy that I got salty like you would not believe.
This move here where it brings out little minions is really reminiscent of Boss Spider from X1, I gotta say. But when he moves about the webs like this, you know who I actually think of?
Who do you think of?
I think it might have been the first boss of Mickey Mouse World of Illusion.
Oh yeah, I'm totally getting that idea. And Boss Spider was like that too, because you'll notice his web was set up like a Japanese lottery system. You ever know that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it basically kind of goes down and picks different branches, eventually working its way to the bottom. Web Spider, not so much. But, he's fucking dead. I hate you, Web Spider. Don't fucking come back. Alright? Alright.
Down the drain he goes.
Turns out he's weak to a faucet.
Raijin Geki.
Yeah, I love the obscure okay, well, not obscure Japanese, but it's just like something you want to say out loud when you're alone, but you're not actually alone, and you're just gonna get embarrassed when you're done.
I'm just gonna hazard a guess here. With the time that we have left, I think we've got a cutscene coming up.
Yeah, this is exclusive to Zero. Colonel basically goes to Zero and goes, hey dude, come here and fight me, bitch. You gonna? X actually does fight Colonel in an extra boss fight. Zero does not fight him in like a traditional, battle that you can control. It's just a cutscene, but it's a very important story-based cutscene, so I think it's worth it.
Man, this horse seems so full earlier.
Colonel, I'm coming for ya.
Time for a sword fight, oh my god.
It even has, like, karate kais that he got from Jason David Frank, man. It's that bad.
I will attempt to take this seriously.
Never. Pause. Okay, there we go. Still not a bad clash. It turns out lightsaber fighting isn't as cool as it is in the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Iris's voice actor.
Zero saved my life.
Aww.
I've decided to stop fighting you, Zero. It is cool now. Bye.
I'm borrowing my sister's car. Don't tell anybody, so I guess I better do what she says.
Clunk, clunk.
Thanks, my brother. If you do, I'm afraid that one of you may end up...
Yeah, well, I'm done. Bye.
I don't know what to make of these cutscenes at all. Thankfully, you guys watching will probably have more context for their importance than I do. We'll see you next time for a bit more of Mega Man X4.